Today's episode of Nomads No Worries, we'll be talking about our personal experiences traveling to New York for the US Open. And then stick around as we reveal some ChatGPT prompts that could save you hundreds of dollars on flights. Let's get it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Nomads No Worries. I'm your host, Steve. This is my co-host, Jack.
Hello.
And Jack just went to the US Open last week, and we want to talk about it because I've also been to the US Open a couple of years ago in New York. And, Jack, we haven't even really talked about this together. So why not talk about it on air? Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I feel like for the record, we'd have a lot of fun if we both went to the US Open together. Like, that could be fun if we went together.
Have we ever not had fun doing something together?
Probably not, honestly.
Yeah, dude, let's hear it. So you started off, you went a couple different days. It sounds like you went to the earlier rounds, like on Tuesday or something. So yeah, just, start at the beginning.
Yeah, so I mean, come from a pretty big tennis family. My parents love to go to tennis tournaments, but this was actually my first time going to like a Grand Slam. And I went 2 different days. We did the day session, and it was within the first week of the tournament. So typically tennis tournaments are 2 weeks long, and the first week is the earlier matches. I think that it kind of depends, there's pros and cons to going earlier or later. If you go in the earlier matches, you get to see a lot more players that maybe you kind of get to see everyone at once because everyone's still in the draw. If you go to the later matches, obviously it's incredibly exciting. You get to see some of the most high level people play against each other. And the stakes are much higher. So it kind of depends. The earlier rounds are also much cheaper to go to versus the later rounds, especially since the later rounds are played more in the stadium courts, which means you need to kind of have upgraded tickets and they're naturally more expensive. Whereas I feel like one really fun thing I like to use is it's almost like a festival. It's like a tennis festival. Instead of stages, you have like all these courts around, you got food. Everyone's kind of drinking, having a good time. And so I thought like the atmosphere was just really awesome. And it felt like there was a lot more people and it just felt really fun. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I agree. Like just walking in and you're like walking in, it's like a line to get in, and then you're seeing all the stadiums. It is like festival energy, I would say. And then, you can get like a corn dog, just like festival food, 100%.
Yeah, and like, some of these matches you get so close. I mean, there was several times like I'm within, feet of these tennis players, and like also like you see their parents and their family like sitting like very close to you in the crowd, and like you can see the expression on their faces so much easier. And it's like I feel like I've watched so much tennis in my life, but I felt like in these moments I was like, man, this is like really intense. Obviously they care, but they really like this is their life's work. This is, the biggest match of their entire career. Even these earlier matches, like, they're fighting for their well-being. Like, if they don't win this match, they don't get paid, like, this is like, it's extremely competitive. And it was just so awesome to be like so close and to just see and feel all those emotions and see the parents react and like see everyone just get behind people. I thought it was just honestly like a magical thing.
Very lit. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I thought that was super cool. Our friend Derek, we watched a match together, and he said something really funny. He's like, "Look, we're playing this match right here. There's maybe like 50, 100 people watching in the stands. If I bet on this guy and I make a lot of noise, I'm like literally impacting my bet. You know what I mean? Like you have an impact because like the players could hear you yelling. Like they could hear like you can influence the game, which is maybe not the best thing, but
That's true, dude. A few years ago, they used to do a bet for the Super Bowl that was like, if you think a streaker is gonna run onto the field, and a dude bet that there would be a streaker, put a ton of money on it, and then he did the streaking himself. Like he went out and was the streaker. So like that he like a 100% controlled the event there, and then he had to like bail out of jail, but he made like 100K on the bet, and bailing out of jail was whatever, a couple grand. So he still netted a lot just for being a streaker. So, and now I think they've done away with that bet because that guy kind of changed the game. But yeah,
Wow, that's super. So smart. I love that. Yeah, exact same vein. Like, can you
genius.
imagine like just
Yeah,
making 100K like that? I mean, what a smart guy. I love that. So
I
yeah,
know. I
there was
wish
a
I would
little
have
bit of
thought of
that
that.
going on,
Yeah,
but I don't think we were obscenely unfair.
yeah, that's
So
good. That's good.
like, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, as a tennis guy, I just love the experience. You know what? I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. I love football. But I might say that U.S. Open, just being with my family and everything, might have been my favorite sporting event ever. It was just so fun. I know the rules of football very well and everything, but like I really know tennis. So it's just like the watching, the atmosphere, the honey deuces. It was everything was firing all. I got my dad was so happy. He's like, all right, I think we can go to Wimbledon in 2 years. I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay, I thought that was a hard no for a while, but we are back.
Would that be a higher level? Like, is U.S. Open the pinnacle, or would Wimbledon be?
I mean, technically, from like a tennis point perspective, all four of the Grand Slams are on equal footing. But I would say Wimbledon is probably the most prestigious one out of the four. But technically, they're all worth the same amount. Like, they're all just as.
Yeah, kind of like even in golf. Like, I think all the majors are technically, but like everyone cares about the Masters the most. But I think it is like in terms of the just like how it scored, and like it's just as much of a major as the other majors. But it seems like the players and everyone just like cares about the Masters more. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great analogy. Yeah.
So what's up with the Honey Deuces? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so the Honey Deuce is the official drink, the signature cocktail of the US Open. It's also the most successful sports beverage in the world. And let's kind of break it down, right? You got vodka in it, you got some sort of raspberry liqueur thing, and then you got like honeydew that's sort of like scooped out in little tennis balls put on like a spear and set in the drink. You
Mm.
get the tennis ball effect. And I felt like the vodka with the raspberry, and they give you like a really cool like commemorative cup, which has like everyone who's like won the tournament in chronological order and things. And it's just like a great souvenir to cap off like a really delicious drink.
I just got the pun because there's honeydew in it, and then like a deuce and tennis honey deuce. Okay, I really didn't even put that together until just now. That's
Yeah. And that's why I was trying to be like, I said that not funny joke, which is like, man, I'm feeling like a honey douche right now, because I was drinking a lot of them. But, whatever.
I think that's funny. I think that's funny for the
Okay.
record.
Thanks. Yeah. So it's $23, for this cocktail. But whatever, like drinks are basically that expensive anyway, so it's not a huge deal. In 2024, they have this great stat where one Honey Deuce was purchased every 1.5 seconds during the entire tournament. They even have like just Honey Deuce bars, right? They have the Honey Deuce bars, and the original guy who got contracted to like make the drink, the requirements were basically like, we need to be able to like mass serve this thing. We need to be able to like
Mm.
pre-mix it all and just be able to serve it to everyone. And I thought it worked out great. Yeah.
And they upped the price from last year, right? Even like by $1, and they've still just been selling
Yeah.
like hotcakes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I forget, it was like 23, 24 today, or yeah, something like that. I mean, good for them. We all know a lot of restaurants' business comes from alcohol, so to brand a drink and make a ton of money off of it, I mean, that's American ingenuity.
It is. Yeah. Fitting at the U.S. Open for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it's Grey Goose vodka. So I feel like Grey Goose is like a little bit more of like a sweeter vodka. Maybe I'm making that up, but so it was good. It was good. It's been around since 2006. So
Shit. Okay.
yeah,
I don't think I was even drinking when I went. Like, I just didn't even have one. I wish I knew the legacy. I would have done it, but oh well.
yeah, it was really funny. On my first one, right? As I'm walking away, my dad's like complaining. He's like, "Ah, Jack's gonna be drinking. They're $23. Does he really want to spend that money?" I come back, I finish it, I show him the cup, He looks at the cup, goes over it. He's like, "Man, this is really cool. I wish we had a few more." I'm like, "Don't worry, Dad. Don't worry. Okay, I'll pound them." So I end up drinking like 7 or 8 of them over the course of the 2 days we were there to make sure we had enough cups for everyone in the family. And it's just hilarious because my dad is just really not into drinking, and then he's like, "All right, we need to like let's pound these. We got something to. We got to get these cups in our house in our cupboard."
Somebody has to do it for the souvenir. So like that was really like nice of you to do that for your family.
Yeah, exactly. Now I still had to pay for all of them. No one helped me with that part, but it's fine.
Uh,
Yeah. So, yeah, so I loved it. I got to go in both stadiums, Louis Armstrong Stadium, Arthur Ashe, and they were really clean, nice, big. The U.S. Open is in Queens. We were in Manhattan. We were able to take the subway basically the whole way there, so it was like super convenient. I know sometimes it can be a nightmare to get to different venues like that, but it made it really easy with the public transportation. And I felt like they great logistics, tons of food vendors, everything. They did a really good job.
yeah, no, I agree. The only thing I didn't like was the subway ride home. It was just super packed when I
Mm,
left. I left after a big match and it was just crazy. But other than that, I mean, riding the subway there was really fun and convenient, like you said. So
yeah, yeah. So it was good. I want to go back. I'd love to go back. I
yeah,
talked to
Arthur
some.
Ashe Stadium was awesome too.
It
People are
was
like, we should
yeah.
have basketball games in there. They need to do more with this because it's sick.
It is sick. I agree. Yeah. I thought it was super cool. Yeah, they should do. I think because I think technically that is like the National Tennis Center of America. So
I
it's
think
like
so.
that is also the hub of all of tennis in America, which makes sense. It's US Open. But it was cool. It's interesting too because you're walking around the grounds and like the players also have to like walk the grounds to like get to some of the like more like I don't know, like open courts that are kind of more like, like the not in the grandstand or like in the stadium. So you like randomly are walking around, you like see these tennis players like walk through to their court and you're like, "Oh my God, that's crazy. You guys are like right there." You don't have like a special underground tunnel or anything. You're just walking on the court like everyone else.
Did you see any other celebrities? I saw on social media there were quite a few celebrities there. Did you see any in person?
No, other than like no one like no non-tennis celebrities.
Yeah. Who was the biggest tennis guys people that you saw?
I remember there was Lindsay Davenport and she like just got done with an interview and I was kind of hammered. I was like, "Lindsay, what's up?" She like turned and waved. So that was kind of cool. Another thing we got to do, I don't know if you did this, where we got to kind of watch some of the practices of some of the people. And my mom and I got super lucky. We got to watch Djokovic practice, and that was pretty funny. So just to kind of see him like do normal things.
Stretching,
Yeah.
drinking Gatorade, whatever normal people do. Yeah, that's
High
cool.
fiving the other people.
Not getting vaccines.
Right. Oh, he is. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't wearing a mask either. So I guess we're past that.
Yeah, he never has, never will.
Yeah. Now I was talking to a lady who'd been going to the U.S. Open since like 1986 or some crazy 90s or some crazy, and she was like, these last couple years, tennis has just exploded in popularity, and everyone's been going to the U.S. Open. There's way more people than there were, and I have zero data to back this up. Just this anecdotal story from her saying it. But I do feel that like in my day to day life that tennis is becoming an incredibly popular sport.
Okay, I mean, I gotta say, for me, going to the U.S. Open made me respect the sport so much more.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person, one of our buddies, TJ Porter, used to always say, like, whoever was the top tennis player at the time, he would say they're the best athlete in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way, dude. It's like, a basketball player, a football player, like tennis players, they don't do anything, right? But dude, like seeing these guys, I saw like a 5 hour match, and these dudes are sprinting back and forth for 5 hours. Like it's probably the most like you need to have the most endurance for tennis than like anything else. Like in basketball, you can sub out. The game's only an hour long. Football, you're not on the field half the time, right? Like you get plenty of rest. Tennis is just like nonstop sprinting back and forth. And not only are you sprinting, but like you have to be able to hit the ball
The pulse.
accurately and yeah, like use your upper body as well. Like it's unbelievable. So yeah, after going to the US Open and like seeing that in person, I was like, wow, these guys really might be the best athletes in the world.
And like, I feel like watching on TV doesn't do it justice on like how fast they hit the ball and how
Yeah,
hard it is and like how much spin it has. It's like it looks easy on TV. Then you see it when you're right eye level with it and you're like, okay, yeah, this is crazy. They're really
yes,
good. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. It was, and just not even talking about the mental part, where I feel like that's all honestly the most challenging part about tennis, because you're out there by yourself. You can't really. You got your coach a little bit to pick you up, but you got to kind of got to find it within yourself. So
true. That's another thing that makes these guys more impressive than, like, say, a team sport. Like, you have a whole team around you helping you. Like, yeah, this is just yourself. So if you fuck up, like, you're the only one who can fuck up or be successful. It's all on you, which is crazy.
yeah. And then the other weird part about it is like the scoring, right? So in a lot of sports, it's like time based, like basketball or football, like you run out the clock and you win. But tennis, you have to win, X amount of things. Like you got to win enough games, you got to win enough sets, points. And if you can get 98% of the way there, if you can't finish, doesn't matter, you lose. So it's like tough. It's tough.
It is. And that can make the matches last for a really long time. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the one I saw was 5 hours. And
It's crazy.
I want to look up, like, the longest match in tennis history.
I think it was John Isner. Yeah, I think John
Okay.
Isner.
I do see John Isner here.
11 hours, 5 minutes. That was in a Grand Slam, I think, too. It was in Wimbledon.
In 2010 Wimbledon.
Yep,
11
Isner.
hours.
All right.
11 hours, dude. But yeah, that was over, it looks like over the course of 3 days or something, but still, like, that's wild.
See, look, so I think they changed this recently, but if you look at the score, the final set is 70-68. So in some tournaments, they don't do a tiebreaker for the final set. You have to play games until you win by two.
Right. Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure what the rule was, I guess, in US Open or other
Yeah,
things, but
I feel like the US Open does tiebreak. I don't think anyone does this format anymore,
yeah, that makes
where they
sense.
do the games at the end. But yeah, it's kind of a perfect storm because John Isner is like one of the hardest servers of all time, so it's really hard to break him, and the other guy was, so they just could never like break each other, and they just kept going forever and ever. It's like, oh wow, okay.
Holy shit. Okay, what else?
I made a joke. I said, "Mom, I know I told you when I was a kid I was going to go to the U.S. Open, and I made it
One day you guys will be watching me at the US Open.
drinking Honey Deuces."
Not on the court, just in the stands, in some dues.
Also, great time to be in New York. August, great time.
True, beautiful weather. That was the case when I was there too. It was awesome. A cool thing that I saw, like, on some of the smaller courts, I got to see wheelchair tennis, which was also super impressive. Like, these guys are just wheeling around like the fastest I've ever seen people wheel around, and they're just ripping the tennis balls, tennis rackets. That was awesome. Yeah,
I never saw that.
it was some mind-blowing shit, dude. Like, I if I tried to do that on a wheelchair, like, I wouldn't be able to return a single serve, like, or anything really. So it was incredible what these guys could do.
Like, I don't even know how we get to the ball.
Yeah, I don't I don't know, but it was more impressive than you might even imagine.
Wow, that's pretty badass.
But yeah, the way I would describe the US Open is, I remember when I was there, I was just like, this is lit. It was just so lit. Like,
Yeah.
I went to a pretty high profile match. I told you about, it was the semifinals. It was Tiafo versus Alcaraz, who ended up winning the whole tournament. But, like, those guys were huge, still are, top ranked players.
Yep.
And the stadium was just so insane, dude. Like, because, Tiafoe's an American, so, like, USA chants would break out, USA, USA. Like, anytime you can hear that in the wild, like, that's quite the experience. You don't actually get to hear that all the time. And then,
Right.
like, the Spanish, because the other guy's Spanish, so people would do like the ole, 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 ole. Also, I've never really heard in person. Like, I've heard that on soccer games on TV, but hearing it in person was, yeah, like, the energy was just so high. It was so much fun.
That's badass, honestly. That's super cool. Yeah, man, you got to go to a semifinals match. I mean, I didn't get to do something like that. That's a really special.
Did you see like Alcaraz or any big players?
Yeah, I watched Sinner play in Arthur Ashe. He
That's dope.
dominated. It
Yeah.
was over pretty quick. And then I saw a little bit of Djokovic. I saw Tiafo practice. Yeah, I saw a bunch of people. So it was good. Yeah, I think what a fun way to spend a day.
I loved it so much. Like going to the US Open was the first like pro tennis event tournament I've ever been to. And now it's like it's turned me into a fan of tennis. Like I follow it more. And like we even went to like the Mexican Open this year in Mexico. Like while we were there, we're in Mexico City. We're like, oh, there's a tennis tournament. And we went to that. Like now I go to tennis tournaments. Like that's a thing I do. Like going to the US Open just unlocked this for me. So it was great.
And I felt like the crowd too was not, it was like a good, nice crowd. Like everyone was pretty happy and fun. And I think sometimes when you go to like a game where it's like team versus team, there's like always like a little bit of animosity. But when you go to like a thing like tennis or maybe golf as well, since there's almost like 100 teams, it's like kind of harder to like no one is really, I mean, obviously like as Americans, we're going for the Americans, and the French people, they want to see their countrymen win. I totally get that. I love that. But it's almost like we're not like super bought in, it's not like me where it's like, oh, today I'm going to root for the Dolphins. Like I'm not, I'm a Chiefs fan.
Right. Yeah, there's more mutual respect there. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll cheer for Tiafo, but if the other guy wins, like I'll still cheer for him, like whatever.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the Raiders playing the Chiefs, we're like, fuck the Raiders, we hate the Raiders. And that's probably why
Yeah.
you see some more animosity in the crowd. Whereas tennis, everyone's just like, let's just see some entertainment here. Let's see some impressive athletes.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of puts it a little different, little vibe. Everyone seems that no one's really at each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So yeah. Well, and maybe we should say congratulations to the Spaniard
Yes.
Alcaraz for winning the U.S. Open. We're really proud of you, honestly. I mean, you lost Wimbledon, you came back, and in the French. I mean, it's turning out to be one of the most exciting rivalries in sports.
Yeah, I feel like they've been switching off who wins, like Sinner, Alcaraz. So yeah, it's fun to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. We'll see what happens with the Australian. It's going to be good. I kind of want what we need to see now. I want a third guy to be relevant, though. That's when things will get really spicy. You
Yeah,
know?
dude, tennis is crazy because it's like if you're not one of the top three people, it's just like no one will ever I don't know, no one will ever hear of you. It's just like during like the era of those, the previous greats, it's like who was even like maybe I'm sure, but it's just like the average person doesn't know. Like they know like Djokovic, they know like Nadal, right? Like but
Roger.
yeah, Roger, but it's just like who was like the fifth best during that era? I couldn't even tell you.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Like, and those guys are never going to win consistently unless like one of the good guys is like sick or injured or something.
Which is it's so weird to me that that's the case. And I think maybe it's just I can't grasp it that well because I'm not like a professional athlete, but it's like they're all so good, right? And I remember, that clip that went viral of Roger, him talking about his tennis career at Dartmouth, where it was like he only ever won like 55% of the points he played. Okay, but he won like 85% of his matches. And so like it shows you like how close like it is. And so for them to win, and you got to win 7 matches in a row. So it's like for them to win every time is like it's like really hard for my brain to like understand. Like how can one of these guys just not win one time? Or like how does
Right.
Sinner never drop a set until the finals and then lose? Like it's just like it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
I don't
that
get
is
it.
insane. You only need to
Like
be 55% better every time. Yeah, that is crazy though. And they are, which is why, yeah, that is, I can't even like, yeah, my brain doesn't compute that either, but I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
It's
It's
like,
insane.
how can it be so close? It's like the Chiefs last year. How did we win every like close ass game, right? But that's only 17 games. These guys are doing it for years. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy to me. I don't get it sometimes. So I mean, yeah, so they're on a different level. I remember Tyler was showing me the betting lines or whatever the odds or something when the US Open starts, and it's like picking Alcaraz or Sinner to win it is like plus 100. The next closest one, Djokovic, he's like plus 1,000. Like it's like literally like 10x less chance. I'm like, that guy's won more. That guy's won the most of all time. It's crazy.
He's only third best, which is there's a big gap there in tennis.
And the tournament format's nice, right? Because you get with the 1 and 2, that means they're always guaranteed to play in the finals. But if we get a third guy to come up, then it kind of screws things up because that means it's like they got to play in the semis. Like they'll have a big semis match,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's always spicy.
All right. Well, let's cheer for number 3 from here on out.
Who's it gonna be? I don't know, man.
That's the thing. I don't know because I only know the top guy.
Yeah, they need to start wearing jerseys, get some names on the back. No,
Yeah.
they don't. I think the tennis outfits is one of the best things about the sport.
God. Yeah, dude. Tennis fashion.
Sick.
So great. It's great.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, Derek asked me this great question. I'll ask you, Steve. He goes, Jack, if you were a professional tennis player, what brand would you want to sponsor you that you would wear?
Lacoste. It's
Okay.
classic. It was invented for tennis. It was like the original polo. Basically, the way that they designed it was so people could play tennis in it. Because before they would wear like shirts like this, like I'm wearing like a long sleeve, like button down whole thing. And they were like, okay, how can we have a collar, but you can actually like play a sport in it and like swing a racket? You can't swing a racket with these sleeves and buttons on. So Lacoste was like, all right, we'll make this shirt that has a collar, a couple buttons that still looks nice, but you can actually play tennis. So
What?
that's the classic brand, and I'm gonna go Lacoste.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a great answer. See, that's a great historical answer. I didn't even know that. So that's today I
What's your
learned.
answer? Your
Well,
answer is Ed Hardy.
Abercrombie and
Affliction.
Fitch. No, I think I'd have to. I mean, I'm single, so I probably have to go like Aloe or something to kind of like, you know, have the chicks behind me.
Aloe's hot right now, man. I've seen dudes wearing it. I've seen chicks like they're really coming after Lululemon. Like they're really
Yeah, they are.
on their tail.
Yeah, they're gonna turn Lululemon into Lululemonade pretty soon, Steve.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are gonna be going sour and for Lululemon.
All right, that was way better. That was,
Yeah, yours is good. Yeah,
that
yours
was
is good.
awesome. Man, that was a good one. Yeah. Wow. Anyway,
What else? Anything else before we move on to our Nomad Hacks?
no, that's it. We covered it. Go to the U.S. Open.
Yeah, we're a sports podcast now, apparently. No, but you know what? This is it's a travel related thing. Like if you're gonna go to New York and travel, like this is an event you can travel to.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll spin that into this makes
and you'll
sense
have
for our,
fun.
yeah, it's fun.
You could sleep in the grass. It's like nomading.
Okay, so here is the Nomad hack I have for today, Jack. So this is
Okay.
ChatGPT prompts. You can kind of hack ChatGPT to help you find flight deals. You can find them for super cheap if you want. And
Okay.
there's several prompts here. This works best on ChatGPT 5, so the latest version.
Okay.
Kind of works on 4, but just upgrade that shit. Get 5, and here's what you're going to type in. And
Okay.
I did this, and I haven't really looked at it yet. So we'll kind of look through the results I got together. So the first prompt you're going to type into ChatGPT is, you're a travel hacker. Find me 5 international flight deals from whatever city you want to fly from, under $300 in the next 60 days. I need you to prioritize major cities, minimal layovers, and hidden fare tactics. Okay.
Okay.
So I typed this in to ChatGPT, and I said from Kansas City for some reason, which doesn't have a lot of international flights. So I would make sure that you tell ChatGPT that it doesn't necessarily need to be direct flights if you're doing from a smaller city. But if you're doing from a city like New York or something, I think that's what this is more so made for, because it
Okay.
just says for international direct flights. So it gives me the best available deal. It gives me the dates. And then it gives me some hidden fare and travel hacker tactics. So it says hacker fares combine one ways, by booking two separate one-ways, potentially mixing airlines or routes. For example, the $141 to Cancun one way plus a $150 return from elsewhere might net you under 300. Leverage Explore Anywhere tools. We know how to do this on like Google Flights. Just type in to anywhere and then look around.
Right.
But that's cool that ChatGPT can give you some travel tips.
Yeah, I mean, kind of nice. Almost if it is better than Google Flights. I mean, I use Google Flights just because I want every option. So if this gives me even more options, it makes sense.
Yeah. You could use both. You could always like supplement or whatever. But so here's the next prompt that you type in right after this. So this is kind of how you find hidden price drops. This is kind of how you trigger that. So you
Okay.
say, build a plan to track price changes for flights to whatever city you want to fly to using free tools and alerts. Include steps for catching flash sales and off-peak rates. Okay, so this will give you
Mm,
all the hidden sales or things that maybe like a website like Google Flights won't show you. So this is what this prompt will do for you.
that's interesting. I use like the Grok one for something similar where I just schedule a query every day and I get an email.
Okay, yeah,
And it
that's
like
nice.
comes with my subscription.
Okay, you have a Grok subscription?
Yeah, it came bundled with like X Premium
I guess I didn't know you had X Premium either, but you learn something new every day.
for work,
For
basically.
work, I
Otherwise
know,
your
I know.
posts get they don't make it.
So yeah, this will give you a lot of those. You can use the agent mode now. I don't know. I pay for ChatGPT, so I don't know if the agent is part of the free plan or not, but the agent will go in and check all the websites for you and it'll find all this for you after you use that prompt that I just typed in. So that's really cool. So you don't have to do that yourself and try to find all the hidden deals. And the next one, so this is how it's supposed to help you like bypass expensive travel dates. So if you're trying to fly over Thanksgiving, Christmas, this is supposed to help with that. So the prompt is act like a flight analyst. Show me the cheapest round trip date combos from whatever city you want to whatever city you want to travel to in a specific time frame. And then you say focusing on weekdays and flexible returns. So this will show you flexible rates you can't see with regular searches, which is really cool. So I did this and yeah, ChatGPT went up and pulled up like these different dates, different time frames, and it's citing all these different sites where it's finding these things. It's like from cheapflights.com, from Expedia, and then it has a list of weekday prioritized options. It's giving me a table of all these different prices and times to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives me its final recommendation of like the cheapest time to do it.
Can it buy? Can it buy stuff? Can it buy the flight?
It will, I think, do everything for you. If you use agent mode, it'll do everything for you. And then it'll be like, okay, here's like the last step. I need you to put in your credit card, but
No
it'll
way.
do it all for
Awesome.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the fourth prompt. Okay. This
Okay.
is this is how you really beat the system here. You say, you're a former airline insider. Share three overlooked booking tricks that can instantly lower my airfare.
Okay.
Here's what it gave me. It says change the departure country for international trips. So on international round trip flights, it says try booking the same trip starting from the other country.
So it's like you are doing a round trip, but it's the reverse or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So even though it's the exact same route, you might say, if you're trying to go from Kansas City to Montreal, you could just flip that around, say Montreal to Kansas City, even though it's the exact same route. But there might be different local purchasing power, market competition that affects those. So just try the same search backwards, basically. It's one tip.
This kind of reminds me of the what did we talk about one hack where it was like if you just VPN to a different country or something,
Yeah.
you get like a better
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Okay. Look for hidden city fares on feeder routes. So this trick, it says use hidden city ticketing where your real destination is a layover on a longer route. It says this works because airlines often charge less to fly farther, especially if the final city is in a competitive hub. So it says, like, okay, let's say I'm trying to fly to Kansas City to Quebec City. It says fly from Kansas City to Halifax. It's another Canadian city with a layover in Quebec City. It might be cheaper than Kansas City to Quebec City.
I can
Obviously,
see
this
that.
doesn't work if you're checking bags and things like that because you'll just get off at the layover.
That's
The
pretty
third
cool.
the third secret tip it gave me is avoid US hubs when returning from abroad. So if you're flying back from abroad, it says to connect in Canada or Europe instead of a US hub. So US hubs like JFK or like Atlanta often come with higher airport taxes and fuel surcharges. If you're coming from Europe, you could route through Toronto or even like Iceland, it says, and that could lower your fare by like $100 or more. So that's cool.
It's interesting to me how you got to structure the prompt right to
I
get what you
know.
want out of it.
Here's my final prompt that I have here.
Okay.
So this is how you optimize your airport choices. Again, this is probably better for bigger cities like New York or something with multiple airport options. But it says list cheaper alternative airports near whatever city it is you want to leave from. So maybe we'll say New York. So list cheaper alternative airports near New York or JFK and compare average fares. Include travel time and cost for each one. And so this will just give you like alternative options, different airports. And then, yeah, those are all the prompts. I stupidly shouldn't have tested this with Kansas City because I just feel like this is way better for bigger cities. But those are the prompts. People can try to use those. If you want to find some cheap flights, get a little creative with it.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait until they can actually book it too. Then I don't have to do anything. Speech to text. I'm going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
She's like, chat, take me to Barcelona.
I feel like there has to still be like a confirmation step just in case it misheard you and you don't end up in Mongolia. They're like, did you say Mongolia? Yeah. It's like, no, I said Barcelona.
It's funny you actually bring this up. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but in programming, obviously we're heavily using AI, right? And there's this feature now where you can kind of have the AI just kind of start making changes. And like
Oh,
now it's like a meme where it's like you got to hold on before like Chad destroys your entire project because it just kind of goes off the rails and starts making all these changes.
yeah. I feel like
So,
you got to confirm something, before it buys the flight or makes your changes for your work. Like you got to like hit some button
but I'm
manually,
cool
right?
with that as long as it looks at me. It's like, okay, this is the top information I care about. Like
Yeah.
when, where, how much. Okay, I'm in. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I'm
those
with you on
airline
that.
websites are painful, man. Those
Yeah.
airline
They
websites
really can
suck.
be. Yeah. Some of them, if you've ever like booked through like a really shitty airline,
Yeah,
like a budget one in like a foreign country, the website is so bad. I'm like, dude,
so bad.
like I can't even figure out how to like literally buy a flight sometimes. It's just like
How
the
are they in
CTA.
business?
Yeah, it's just like the button like the buttons to click are just not in the right place. They're not the right color. Like they're just like almost
Yeah,
hidden and stuff. It's like, dude, just let me spend money. It's like if people are spending hundreds of dollars with you every time they purchase something, like you should probably optimize this shit a little bit to make it easy to make it intuitive.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But they don't have time for that. They're budget airlines.
No, you're right. You're right. They're doing the best they can. They're scraping by.
Or maybe they're intentionally making it bad. It's like a feature.
That's how they're saving money. They're like, well, that's why our fares are so low. We spent
Yeah.
nothing on our website.
It took me 4 hours to book it. I picked the wrong day. But there's no way I'm rebooking. I can't go through that
Yeah.
again. We're
Yeah,
leaving on
exactly.
Tuesday instead. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because they're gonna have change fees. They're not gonna have free cancellations. So they're like, they want you to fuck up. So then, oh well, now I have to buy a new flight or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that strategy.
that's good.
That's good. But those are my prompts. I will report back after I actually use them from a major city that's not Kansas City because that didn't give me the best results.
Okay.
And then next week I'll have another little airline hack for
Okay.
everybody. So stick around for that.
Steve, the airline hack guy. This is good. This is a niche.
Yeah, I just hack airlines online. I don't like hack them when I'm on the plane and like crash it into buildings or anything like that.
Right. Fine line. Very
Yeah.
fine line here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, that's hijacking. I guess hacking and hijacking are different things.
Yeah. Don't say hi. Don't say hi to me on the plane either. You know.
Oh, hijack. Wait, dude, that's literally your name. That is
Yeah.
that is crazy. Yeah, if I'm
Yeah.
like
Don't say.
hijack, if you were like several rows in front of me and I like yell at you, I'm like hijack. You're like,
You're
what? This
like kind
guy's
of drunk, so it comes out strained.
hijack.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, this guy's hijacking us. They start like texting their like family. They're like, guys, I'm fucked. This guy in a Lacoste polo is trying to take the plane down.
The guy in the aloe polo. We just spilled his red wine all over his shirt. You got tackled by the flight attendant.
That's good. All right. Well, that's all I got for today. What else you got, Jack? Anything?
That's it. We got to remind our viewers trips come in all shapes and sizes. Maybe the next weird trip you got to take is to a tennis tournament. And maybe if you need to fly there, you should use ChatGPT.
But keep it weird. Peace.